Gentlemen, today I want to speak to you on the person named Judah. Judah is not as known as one of his brothers, Joseph. We've heard of Joseph, we've heard of his life, we've heard of some of the background story, issues with his brother, the coat of many colors, his connection with his father, and how many people would argue that he was the favorite of the 12. And all of these stories we may have heard. Eventually he gets sold into slavery, goes to jail, unjustly and wrongfully accused, but eventually he goes from the pit to the palace. He becomes second in command in all of the land of Egypt, and that's a story that really talks about forgiveness, talks about restoration and redeeming the time. And it really depicts a beautiful story of what God can do when challenges arise and things out of our control kind of kick us in the rear, if you will. But Judah is one of Joseph's brother. And when Joseph was taken into the fields by his brothers, they actually wanted to kill him. That was the goal. Hey, let's kill this guy. Our father is preferring him. Our father is treating him with all of this preference. And Joseph, in their eyes, was bragging. He had two dreams, and these dreams vividly spoke of how Joseph, one of the younger ones of the brothers, was actually going to rule over the brothers. And the brother was like, nah, bro, that's not how this is gonna work. And jealousy and anger and frustration rose up in the hearts of these brothers, took them to the field, and there they wanted to kill him. And the one that spoke up to save the life of Joseph was Judah. And Judah's name in Hebrew means praise the Lord. It is his name that ultimately we get the tribe of Judah, which is where we get the Jewish people. They come from Judah. But slowing that story down, Judah stands up and says, we cannot kill him. If we kill him, how can we live with that guilt in our consciousness of killing our brothers and seeing our father suffer, knowing that we, his brothers, killed him? And so that's when the idea of selling him into slavery, right, the lesser of two evils, I guess, was brought up. And he was sold to the Ishmaelites, and there he went through the process and the journey that we know as the story of Joseph. Judah was the one that spoke up. Judah also offered to switch places with the younger brother Benjamin when they were also wanting to use Benjamin as one of the younger ones into slavery. Judah spoke up. He said, no, I'll do it. Pick me. Let me be enslaved. I want to save my little brother. So there was something about Judah that fought for justice and fought for righteousness, although it was all probably in a negative note for many people. Judah is the one that eventually, when the blessings of the tribes are spoken and given, Judah is the tribe that stands alone. Judah is the tribe that is always focused on the leaders of the Israelites or the Jewish people. It is Judah, the one that had to live with the knowledge that they had sold Joseph. The Bible mentions his sorrow. The Bible mentions how he was hurting because of what they did with his brother. But then we see that when Jacob is dying, his father, he blesses him with greatness of his tribe. It is Judah, when the history of the Israelites unfolds, we see that there were 12 tribes, and 10 of the tribes split up. 10 of the tribes eventually mixed with other races, and so they were deemed not kosher, if you will, or they were deemed not part of God's plan moving forward. And so the two tribes that stood out, that were still connected to God's covenant, were the tribe of Judah and the Levites, the tribe of Levi. The Levites were the priests. They were the worshipers. They were the ones that were ushering all of God's spiritual presence and liturgy and the expressions and the ceremonies of what the people of God would do. But then the tribe of Judah was the tribe that had the people where David reigned, where Solomon reigned, where all of these kings reigned that eventually also carried the lineage of Jesus Christ. So while those 10 tribes split up and went their own way, where we get the Samaritans, where we get all of these mixed race Israelites, Judah was the tribe that kept the name clean, that kept the Jewish culture and tradition clean. And that's why Jesus, to fulfill the promise, comes out of the tribe of Judah. Now, how does that relate to you and I today? Well, because of the example of Judah, we know that there are moments where we can stand up for what's right. There are moments where you and I have the calling of God to speak up, not just for our family. I know many men that can say, I'll fight for my family, I'll die for my family. If you come at my family, I'll speak up, etc. And that's definitely necessary and good. But what about those that are less fortunate? What about those that don't have what you and I may have? What about those that haven't had the experiences or the opportunity? Those that are downtrodden, those that are in prison, those that are dealing with addiction. Those also need for us to be willing to step up and say, you shouldn't have to go through this by yourself. Judah, praise the Lord. Judah is representing the opportunity for us to do something that brings praise to the Lord. When was the last time you partnered with someone, an organization, or a family that was in need? When was the last time you were able to contribute to a scholarship for a student to be able to have an experience that's educational in nature? When was the last time that you were able to partner with legacy-minded men and be able to be a part of sowing a seed for resources to men that are less fortunate than you? Judah represents the standing up to do something that's righteous, that brings praise to the Lord.